Jim, it's not that
You need to go on YouTube or
Yes, it is.
go on YouTube or Twitch right now.
Oh yeah, because I'm live stream, man.
Wait, you're live streaming?
No, I'm gonna watch it, man. I'll be back.
Okay. What are you looking up? Okay. Your search history is a bit weird, Cat.
What?
Well, hang on. I saw your search history just a bit.
What? Let me see.
I'm not sure what's your live anyway.
Oh.
So what do you mean, what's your live stream? Or what do you mean? What's Queen Blaze?
Oh, she's a reaction channel.
And you're just looking at the Umbrella search engine. And he's got TikTok on his home screensaver.
I'm ready to look at the live stream, man.
He's in the lobby. My brain's fishy broken.
Oh.
Then fix it.
No one did it better.
I can't.
Yo, Low in Theory.
You're in review.
And then
Man,
don't fix
all-time classic. The first time I heard
Their
Bucket House,
stream is
I was
live
bugging
on
out.
Twitch.
Look, I knew that bass line because my dad was
No,
up in
bro.
jazz.
You're
It's
in
this
review.
dope
No,
jazz
it's not you're
track
in
called
review.
Genius the Mooch. Have
Yes,
you
it
heard
is.
You're in review.
It is the year
Try
in
to change the
review
game.
for 2022.
Whatever hip hop you listen to today,
They said they're going to be covering it.
I can
Of the year. Okay, I'm going to link my live stream. Live stream starting soon. I like the Christmas theme. Don't you?
Yeah, very cute. Very cute. You would see that's how Trinity Beats was like, oh. And I, oh. But she said, I wish that I could be like the cool kids, cause all the cool kids, they seem to fit in. I wish that I could be like the cool kids. Well, cool kids. I wish that I could be like the cool kids, cause all the cool kids, they seem to fit in. Guts and boots and guts and Machu Picchu, Machu Picchu, Machu Picchu, Machu Picchu. I just told you not to be a Picchu. Element, Picchu, Element, Picchu, RSTUEWXYZ.
Okay, I think I linked my live stream to my Twitter.
Snip, snip to the whip, and eat the yo-yo.
Let me take a triple check.
Oh yeah, help.
Okay, live stream starting. Year in review.
This was not a fun year.
Hello everyone,
Hello,
I am your
everybody.
host Tina and welcome to Inside Unreal, a weekly show where we learn, explore, and celebrate everything Unreal. We have come to the end of yet another incredible year for Unreal Engine with a plethora of updates and projects that we've been excited to share with the community. Now today, we'll recap all of our favorite moments over the year, as well as give a sneak peek into the future. We're hoping to give a demo of the upcoming Unreal Editor for Fortnite, but we're having some technical issues, as does happen in live, so we'll let you know. But in the meantime, I would like to take the opportunity to introduce our guests for the day. So first up, we have Nick from Engineering.
Billion, not million.
Next we have Jeremiah from Unreal Engine Product.
No, not trillion.
And next we have who you might recognize, the wonderful Amanda from Community. And of course, as is tradition, I would also like to welcome Tim back to the stream as well.
Tim Sweeney! Oh,
It's Tim. It's Tim.
He's
Hey,
the
Tim.
great man, this legend.
Well, first, I would like to thank all of you so much for coming on and joining us today. It's going to be a great stream. But first, for all of you at home, if you would like to follow along with live captions, you can do so by clicking on the link that we will be dropping and pinning in the chat right now. So grab that if you need to. But with that, let's go ahead and dive in, shall we? So first and foremost, there was a tiny thing, just a little, no big deal sort of thing
There's
we did at the
5,000
beginning of the
people
year.
watching.
I'm trying to. Oh yeah, we released Unreal Engine 5.
Oh yeah.
Just that thing.
it's just this year.
Yeah, which is actually incredible to think about, that it's only been a year so far. But it's been a journey. We started with a first look of Lumen in the land of Nanite, and then we followed that
so
up with
amazing.
Valley of the Ancient. And then, of course, we also unveiled last year the Matrix Awakens Unreal Engine 5 experience at the Game Awards. But we finally put those tools into the hands of the community, and we've been able to see some jaw-dropping results so far.
Wow, it looks so
To
beautiful.
start us off, though,
my gosh.
Tim, what does the release of Unreal Engine 5 mean to you? Especially looking back at where we've come from, and what's it been like to
Oh my
see the kinds
gosh.
of projects that everyone is making now?
There's a piano in Tim Sweeney's background, which means that
No, it doesn't. Okay, it doesn't. Tim Sweeney's mic is not on.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Well,
everyone.
Oh,
The
there you
aim
go.
isn't he like
from the
a
very outset of
billionaire or
Unreal Engine
something
5
that
was to
owns a
build a next
trillionaire
generation
company?
technology base that took
You should
absolutely
afford
thorough
good mic
advantage
to turn
of
on when he says.
the next generation
Tim's
of
talking,
consoles
but
and high-end PCs and the latest and greatest graphics features that the industry has pushed forward. And to put that in the hands of everybody,
this is like
from
Bill
game
Gates,
developers
but
to
younger.
film and television crews, to car designers, and everybody else.
I just
There's
want to
been
say,
really widespread adoption of UE5 so far.
it's like something is
Multiple
biting him as we
major
speak.
film and television productions underway and virtual production with it.
You can see the
The
pain in his
majority
eyes that were
of
covered by the Jeffrey
next
Dahmer
generation
slap.
AAA
Okay,
games
okay.
now for next
That's too
generation
far.
consoles are built in UE5. We're
No,
incredibly
never
proud
mind. Those are
of
not
the
Jeffrey
quality
Dahmer
of work that
glasses.
people are doing, and
Those, never
some
mind,
of
they're
it's
not.
being
I
shown
have
now,
one
and
like
it's
Jeffrey
incredible. But some of
Dahmer.
it's also being
Oh
seen
no.
behind the scenes, and
No, but it has
you're
like
just
no
going to be
lenses
blown
or
away
anything.
by
It's
what's
just
happening,
you can put
I'm
your
sorry,
finger
son. I'm gonna have to
possible
meet
with
you.
this next generation.
I'll shut up then.
Absolutely.
go into the-
I totally agree. Just
I'm gonna leave
incredible,
before
the
shut-
things that we've been able
You
to
could
see
talk
the
to me
community
on
build.
my live stream.
We've been talking about our biggest
No,
features,
don't mute
things
me.
like
I'll just stop
Nanite,
talking and then
Lumen,
something
Large
big comes up,
Worlds,
please.
for a couple of years now. But Nick, from a technological standpoint, what's the significance of these developments, and what will it mean for developers in the coming years?
Yeah, well, technologies like
they were
Lumen
just
and
using
Nanite are bringing a new level of graphics fidelity to games that are being made with Unreal Engine. The toolset is really designed to try to remove technical constraints wherever we can and really let people's creativity show through. So the ability to
Creativity is great.
bring in film quality assets with Nanite and not worry about polygon count or draw call budgets as much anymore. The ability to just have real-time dynamic global illumination that works. You don't have to set up light map UVs. You don't have to place reflection probes in the level. The engine can kind of take care of all that complexity. And with world partition, the ability to build massive worlds just by, you literally just build a large level, right? And you let the engine take care of the details of how we break that up for streaming purposes. So bring these technologies that allow the most visually stunning games to be built, along with removing some of these technical hurdles, I think is going to allow developers to create better games more quickly than they could before. And I'm already blown away with what developers have been doing with Unreal Engine 5 and really excited to see everything else that developers are going to make in the coming years.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have anything that you'd like to add to that, Tim?
No, I think it's going to be an awesome generation. We're just seeing the very beginning of it. The thing was launched early this year, and with Fortnite technically upgraded to UE5, but not taking full advantage of it. And we're going to see some amazing things in Fortnite, which have just launched with Chapter 4, and widespread industry adoption. This is the generation in which we get within striking distance of photorealism and stylized games. Come to look, at the quality level of a Pixar movie, and not just technical possibility of these things, but there's the capability for teams, both large and small teams too, to use these tools and to build this quality of content, to use the massive libraries of content that are available in the asset marketplaces and build this without having to have a team of hundreds or thousands of people. This is an engine for everybody from the smallest indie to the largest AAA studio.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, thank you both. I think that gives a lot of really good perspective for where we're starting here. And for anyone in the group, not to get anyone in trouble, but any comments on what tools and features the community can look forward to?
There's already been, we just shipped 5.1, which is really exciting. We put our hearts and souls into that. I think we're just going to continue building out those systems. You're just going to keep seeing things grow. It's already crazy that 5's been out for a year and we've already seen such incredible things. So,
yeah, I mean, we have a couple of new features that came in 5.1 that we're going to continue to develop further in 5.2. We have the new animation technologies that we've been working with, or working on motion matching, machine learning deformer to be able to do much higher quality deformation in real time than was previously possible. There's a really early preview of our new material system that we're working with that allows us to simulate much more complex materials, things like car paint, being able to represent like iridescence, and so I'm really excited to see those technologies continue to evolve over the coming releases of Unreal Engine.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, especially the idea of seeing iridescent in 3D. Gets my heart going. But alongside this release, of course, we also shared the Lyra sample game, and prior to that, the City sample, which demonstrates how the Matrix Awakens and Unreal Engine 5 experience was built. So, Nick, Lyra is something entirely unique from what we've done before. Could you share a bit about Lyra, our intent behind the project, and maybe how folks can leverage it best?
Sure, yeah. It's a little different than something like City sample, where we were showing people how we built the city for the Matrix Awakens demo. With Lyra, what we wanted to do was show developers, here are the best practices for using the systems in Unreal Engine for building games, and use it as a base for making their own games. So we really see Lyra as a way for developers to take it as a foundation and start building gameplay content directly in Lyra,
that's really
and
nice.
evolving Lyra into the games that they release. We designed Lyra to be modular, so all of the gameplay features, all the components, they all exist inside gameplay feature plugins, so that developers are able to add their own. They're able to take what's in there that they don't need and disable them, and extend it to meet their needs, or just take the parts of Lyra that they need for their game. So it's really that foundation to build upon and foundation to learn from on how to build games in Unreal Engine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Proper multiplayer support.
Additionally, in there, we built this cosmetic system. In Fortnite, you see all these cosmetics, and they're all running on kind of the same animation, no matter what platform you're on. But we took the opportunity of releasing this new Lyra sample to put in a lightweight cosmetic system in there. To show it off initially, we released our new Manny and Quinn, our new UE5 mannequins, which is really exciting to get those out.
And they look amazing.
The teams did an awesome job. And you can also, if you want, jump into Lyra, import your own metahuman, and change just in a quick setting in the experience settings, run around as your metahuman. So it's really exciting. So people can take this, run with it, and make their own crazy inventions. I don't know what, but I'm excited to see what people make with it.
The customization is endless. Yes. If you haven't explored Lyra or City Sample, both are available to download for free on the Unreal Engine Marketplace. So make sure to go check them out if you haven't already. Now, we've been continually humbled by teams putting their trust in our development tools. Not only those that have been on the journey with us, such as, like Ninja Theory with Hellblade 2 or Studio Wildcard with their Arc 2, but also studios making the leap to work with us, such as CD Projekt Red with the next Witcher title, as well as the 2007 remake, and also Crystal Dynamics' next Tomb Raider as well, and many others. But Nick, what has it been like seeing the reception and adoption of Unreal Engine 5 among these kinds of studios?
Yeah, exciting and humbled, I think describes my reaction as well. When we set out to build Unreal Engine 5, maintaining backwards compatibility with Unreal Engine 4 was really important for us, to make sure that teams can bring their games, their content forward from Unreal Engine 4 into 5. And so it's great to see so many Unreal Engine 4 studios bringing their titles to Unreal Engine 5 and starting to leverage the new technology. And but I'm also really excited about all the studios who have decided to jump into to Unreal Engine, moving from internal technology over to using UE. I'm really excited to see the games they build, of course, but I'm also really excited to be able to work with those teams, hear their feedback, and learn from their expertise. I mean, these are some really great studios with talented engineers and artists who are going to be working with Unreal technology. And as they start building their games, we're all going to learn a lot, and I think a lot of the improvements that we make we'll be able to bring back into Unreal Engine and deliver to the entire Unreal Engine community.
Yeah, which is going to be just incredible to see, being able to watch these tools develop among these large, well-known studios and these incredible projects that hold a dear place in a lot of people's hearts. Being able to see them move forward in the Unreal community is going to be unreal.
Always have to get one in.
Got to, of course. But we saw tons of incredible Unreal projects on display at the Game Awards this year as well. By our estimate, about half of the games showcased at the Game Awards are powered by Unreal, which is kind of insane to think about. And a few of those in particular that we're excited to highlight include CI Games' The Lords of the Fallen, Inflection Games' Nightingale, Bandai Namco's Blue Protocol, and a few others. But
They all look so incredible. I'm super pumped to play Nightingale. We're showing some of their footage, and it's just like, they look amazing. And seeing all those different titles up on stage is really, just, it feels, you're almost proud. It's like, I had nothing to do with it, but like, you're still like, this takes so much pride in those projects.
absolutely. And I mean, as we can see from this footage here, all of these projects just look incredible too. And I'm so excited to play them. I'm so excited to just dive in and be able to experience that,
Immersive experience.
But we're not just seeing these large studios succeed. Individuals and small teams are creating outstanding works as well. For example, Blue 12 Stray took home not only Best Debut Indie, but Best Indie this year. And if that's not one way to make a splash on your debut, I don't know what is.
It's
Right?
an amazing
And I think
style.
Stray has sort of a special place too because Kula, who's worked on this project, has been in the dev community for ages, right? They've shared a lot of content in the forums of just like cool scenes they've made that have like cool rain effects or miscellaneous projects they've been doing. And I think they have a thread like coolest stuff or, coolest things or whatever it's called. But like, you can go there and just see all that stuff that they've been sharing back with the community. And now for them to have landed in such a big way is heartwarming.
It really is. It's like I think you were saying it before. It just feels like cheering on a family member or a friend, just being like, oh,
You've got this.
you did it. This is amazing. But projects like that, like Stray and also Nate Perkpile's The Axis Unseen or Danny Goon's Path of Ettenway are great examples of not only the kind of diversity you can find in Unreal development. I mean, all three of those are drastically different from one another. We have, The Axis Unseen is just, it's metal music and monsters. You've got the Path of Ettenway, which is a kind of Dark Souls-esque hack and slash, lots of dodging, very, very slick gameplay. And then Stray, which is
Cats wandering around the city.
beautiful cats in a beautiful city. Yeah.
Everything from metal monsters to kitty cats. Like, what more could you ask for?
Exactly. And I think another theme between all three of these is just the amazing quality that all of them have been able to attain as well.
Quality. Yeah, that's my
Now, Unreal is just one of the many tools available to developers. So, Nick, what is the goal of launching these other tools that we've come out with, like a MetaHuman Creator, for example?
Yeah, earlier I mentioned, and Tim talked about this as well, how when we built Unreal Engine 5, we were trying to build tools that would empower developers of all sizes to be able to create amazing content, to try to remove technical constraints where we can and really give world-class technology out to the world. But in addition to that, with Quixel Megascans, with MetaHuman Creator, with Reality Scan, we're also giving developers the ability to get really high-quality content into their projects very quickly. Certainly one of the biggest costs to developing a game or real-time 3D experience is the creation of the assets themselves. And so having access to a library of incredibly high-quality content from Quixel Megascans, or having access to Reality Scan to be able to very quickly get a high-quality asset that you scan with your phone directly into your game project. It's just incredible. What in the past would have required a really talented 3D modeler working with a really talented 2D texture artist, all to make a ton of assets. You just have it at your fingertips now, which I think is incredible.
Yeah.
And then with MetaHuman Creator, kind of similarly, it's giving tools that allow developers to really quickly create digital humans of exceptionally high quality. And digital humans are one of the most difficult and expensive assets to create. And so having these tools that allow you to very quickly, drag around sliders, push and pull some controls, and create a diverse array of high quality digital humans, I think that's really transformative for developers to be able to create high quality content. So bring these all together, everything from the ecosystem combined with the tools and technology of Unreal, really it's going to help developers do more quickly than they could before and with less. So
later on.
Yeah.
Really excited about how everything is pulling together.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the to add on to the MetaHuman part, that the Mesh to MetaHuman that we released recently, where you already get this quite expansive library to pull from, and all these little sliders that you can adjust just about everything on the face. But you can also then take your own custom face that you want to model, or you take Reality Scan. I've seen some people that scan their face like that, and then put that in, and then they have themselves inside all the same the benefits that you would get from MetaHuman, but it looks like you, and it talks, and it's expressive.
So amazing.
So it's not just the content that maybe we provide as the back end, but you're able to bring in your own content and still get the same benefits.
Yeah.
Well, and you see it fill the world. So you can get your custom meshes, your unique like hero characters, but like you can also create lots of them, and they scale well. So like you have lots of metahumans that's like, oh, they can fill out your world like they do in Matrix Awakens, or you see like people, you can fill it up with stadiums, and so it's like, here's one way where it's like, yeah, this is your means of getting a lot of more generic ones at scale, but you still have the flexibility to then customize for those really iconic characters that you're trying to build.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with the statement that you made earlier, Nick, of where this is normally really difficult for a small team to achieve, or especially beginners who are maybe just setting out.
It's difficult for a big team to achieve.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So having that capability just at your fingertips whenever you want it is incredibly powerful. And then, of course, speaking of Reality Scan, which is just an unbelievable bit of technology in my own humble opinion, that just came out. So if you at home would like to capture high quality models using your phone, currently only on iOS, but Android is incoming, then make sure to check it out.
Please do it for Android.
But another big part of this set of tools that we're giving to the community also includes the marketplace, with loads and loads of great content produced by the community for the community. When you need something for putting together your very first prototype, for example, or you're looking to leverage assets that you don't have time to, or frankly want to build yourself sometimes, it's there with oodles of assets available for you. We've been continuing our monthly free program content, and since it kicked off, over 250 packs have been shared as free for the month, and there are now over 100 permanently free items, constituting thousands of free assets made by marketplace creators, alongside millions of free assets from Epic itself. So that's just
really cool.
Anything you could ever need.
Yeah, and to celebrate some of the top creators this year, they're doing a top seller sale, and so through the end of the year, really outstanding creators like Decogon and Cinti Studios, Laertes. There's a number more that I can't share right now, but like all these really strong contributors to the community.
Tim Sweeney's been pretty
are having their stuff highlighted, so definitely go check out some of those items. So.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting myself for Christmas. I'm spending all my money on the marketplace.
It's a good place to put it. Yeah. And I guess there's also the point of, besides just assets, there's also tools, I think.
Right. Yeah. It's a great place. Yes, you can flesh out your world with all this great content, but a lot of people create some incredible tools to make it easier to create that content as well. So I just love the idea that the engine is extensible enough that people are able to drop in or release like an inventory system or an NPC system or a dialogue system, and you just are able to piece those together and create a game out of it. You don't have to be an expert engineer or an expert artist. You can still get your idea across, whether it's a prototype or the final game, by pulling from kind of the collective brains of everyone from the community.
The mind shift.
The mind shift. That's what it's yeah.
It's both heartwarming and kind of terrifying at the same time.
Defense 6 is free on Epic Games Launcher.
But yeah, and this is all, of course, in the effort of ensuring the developer has access to the tools that they need to exceed from content creation all the way to final pixels. And another part in that process involves our Epic Mega Grants program. After 4 years, the Epic Mega Grants program is still going strong, reaching over 1,800 recipients. Be sure to check out the selection of impressive and innovative projects over on the Unreal Engine feed on our latest update of the program. There's some really genuinely cool stuff that people have been making.
Oh yeah, there's a big list of really outstanding projects, and I love how it goes anywhere from very like social good, heartwarming stories of like people using metahumans to, you know, as interpreters or doing sign language to help communicate to folks that may be hard of hearing, to, you know, obviously quirky, adorable, fun, innovative games, right? It's all kinds of different projects that get to be supported. So
yeah, and it feels great to be able to play at least a small part in the process of this development and see where these projects can go. So I feel like that's another one of those moments where it's like, oh, you did it. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy to see you do this. But tears aside, we've talked a lot about resources that are available to you, but what happens when it's ready, when you're ready to actually ship your game? That's when the Epic Games Store comes in. So the Epic Games Store has a global audience north of 60 million monthly active users, which is an insane number to think about, let alone say out loud, and continues to have industry-leading revenue share of 88/12. And keep in mind that games built in Unreal Engine that are distributed through the Epic Games Store do not pay royalties on those Epic Games Store sales. Also, developers can use their own payment systems for in-app purchases, and we do not take revenue share on any of those sales.
Oh my gosh.
And last but definitely not least, we're excited to share that self-publishing tools to ship your game on the Epic Games Store are coming as early as 2023. So stay tuned for more news on that.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. It has also been a big year on the community side of things, with huge updates across the board to better user experiences. So Amanda, would you like to tell us a little bit more about some of those initiatives and changes?
yeah, absolutely. So like you said, it's been a really, really big year, and we were able to launch the Epic Developer Community, which, you know, we really wanted to make it easier for folks to get started. It can be, you know, sometimes a little daunting to get into development, and you know, it shouldn't be scary. So we wanted to create this one-stop shop for help. There are courses from Epic, there are community-created tutorials, so that again, it's, you know, folks can share what they're familiar with. You can start up conversations, share code snippets. So, you know, if you've built a little blueprint that you want to share with somebody else, go snag it. And we want to give a shout out to Sebastian from Blueprint UE, who's built that. And we've incorporated it into the Epic Developer Community site. So just continuing that train, right? Like everybody sharing and collaborating together, and it's a really wonderful experience. We've also got knowledge base articles created by some of our Epic devs. And yeah, that site has seen a number of iterations so far over the year. We've been able to add localization support for 6 language for the Epic content, and then the community can actually add tutorials in any language they want to, and just identify that right there in the ecosystem. So that's been really, really sweet. We've got over 9,000 solutions, over, you know, like 1,700 tutorials, and Capturing Reality actually joined us last month. And so we're sort of really expanding that site and wanting to make it into like an even more Epic developer hub. or Epic developer community. I know we all groaned at the same time inside. It was great. So yeah, we'll welcome more folks in, and that way, yeah, like we want there to be this cross collaboration on different tools and workflows, but it still feel like there's this central space for you to get that information. We're also going to bring in documentation, which is a huge one. So again, let's all bring it together, share what make it easy to find what you're looking for, and get you back to developing as you should be. Yeah, so that's the Epic developer community. This year we also have relaunched our user group program as part of the world tour. It sounds very metal, but so we're trying to make sure our evangelists and folks at Epic or the community knows where we're at. So it's like if you're at a conference, you're at a show with us, we want to see what you're working on. We want to meet you. We want to find out who you are face to face. And so that's an initiative to let you all know where we'll be. But there's also hundreds of groups all over the world. Right? So it's like, why not find that local community, find your area developers. There's a lot of folks in film, a lot of folks in games. And instead of trying to, find it online, I could hand you a controller and be like, hey, what do you think of this?
Okay.
And like, there's just something tangible about that live feedback experience. We're all working on something, or you can at least share and you're like, I'm really stuck on this bug. Do you have any ideas? Just build this area community. So
yeah,
that's a lot of fun.
I mean, on a similar vein, we were able to all get back together in person for Unreal Fest this year as well.
Oh my gosh. I think we're all there.
We were all
there.
Yeah.
And it was just, it felt like the first day of school, right? You haven't seen your friends all summer, and we're all getting together and talking about like, oh, what have you been working on? What have you done all summer? And
it is a nice set.
It was just this chance for, Epic and some of our partners and community folk to share on some incredible presentation topics. And all that content's available online. So if you weren't able to make it to the show, the holidays are a perfect time to watch hours and hours and hours of content.
Yeah, getting to see everybody in person was great, and the breadth of talks, I was really impressed by all of the talks given by developers in the community from studios working with Unreal Engine. Yeah, it was awesome.
I loved being able to
This is so boring.
wander around
Hey,
and either go to talks that I had no idea about and learn something, or
It will
just talk
be less
to.
boring when they
I'd go
actually
from students,
talk about
having conversation with them, to people that have been in the industry for 20, 30 years.
Don't worry.
But now
And
they're being
there's just like these
boring.
little groups kind of form, and you have these amazing conversations.
Yeah.
Stop
They're all
being
learning
boring.
something, right?
Right.
And that,
It's fine. Let
kinda
them
on
be
that vein,
boring.
right? Like
They're old
there are
people.
game devs, there are
I was gonna say that.
film folks, there are
No, no,
architects, there's all kinds of people
Not
from
really.
all walks of life, and they
I
all
think
have
I
something to bring to
entered
the
the
table
old
that's
people's
unique,
convention.
a unique perspective, or, hey, I would have never thought about framing that shot that way, or, your
Well, I did not
interactive
release your
experience might feel a
present,
little better if you
Hold on, let me
do
just get rid
X,
of
Y,
that.
Z, and so there's that great collaboration that it doesn't really matter where you've come from, but it's all about folks trying to get to where they're going.
Right, absolutely. And I love the idea of kind of just this melting pot of everybody being able to help each other and come together with this knowledge, because if you think about it, these skills are
just deleting
transferable
some
between
stuff in
industries.
Trinity
You can
Peaks
be
because
an
I
amazing
placed a
game
little
dev
too
and
much
still be
stuff.
able to do really well in a film setting, or vice versa. I mean, especially with cinematics and things like that, it's really easy for someone now to go from film
I
to games
placed
as
too
well.
much props
And
and
the
the
point really
memory
is that
went to you.
those skills are transferable. And just real-time skills in general are in high demand right now. So learn them if you haven't already.
Very, very high demand.
It went to
Lots of studios are
90K,
hiring.
94K.
Get into
It's crazy
Unreal
that-
Engine, go take them and go make whatever stories and projects they're working on.
Oh,
Yeah,
gosh, it's
absolutely.
So awesome.
And then, of course, also
The
there's
one with
little
the yellow
teaser
hair reminds me of my mom.
Us maybe being able to go to GDC.
Oh
this
yeah,
year as well.
so
What?
not only we hopefully saw you there in October, but we'll see you at
I
the
can't
show
hear you, sorry.
in March. So
You remind
Come
me
see
of your
us.
mother.
Epic Games HQ
Yeah, really
is
looking
in
forward to get back to
North
GDC.
Carolina.
Man, it's having missed it now a couple of years. It's been painful.
Sweet home
It's
Carolina.
gonna be a big homecoming.
It is.
Everybody
Another
is
one,
just,
yeah.
Beast is
crying,
from there.
emotional. Just it's been so long.
Yeah,
It's gonna be
he lives
great.
from near the
Montage.
Epic.
I see it already.
All right,
Tim,
No,
we
he
need
lives
Unreal Engine
He
handkerchiefs
lives
for
very
everybody
far
crying.
from civilization.
Absolutely, yeah, that has to happen now.
Or laugh though.
But yeah, thank you for all of those updates, Amanda.
I'm joking.
With that, So we've been talking a lot about games, which, to be fair, it's a great
Why am I
topic.
holding my
That's not me
controller?
saying it's not. But,
having a mouse.
you know, the ecosystem supports far more than just
This is so
games.
boring,
All the way
man.
into things like film,
fine.
television, broadcasting, live
Not
events,
fine.
so on and so forth.
Her
So,
eyes are sparkling,
Jeremiah,
so
would you
that
like
makes it a
to
little
kind of
bit
walk
better.
us through that concept a little bit more?
Ooh.
Why, yes, I would. Yeah, it really does
Like
not
that
matter
is
if you're
weird.
making a game or a movie or a VR experience. We're all just telling stories. We're all trying to
VR?
share an experience. And
It will never come to Fortnite.
we're, at the end of the day, just
that's
all
not true.
storytellers. I feel like everyone has a
Creative
story to
will
tell.
probably allow it.
seems sweet.
Whether you're, a 10-year-old
No,
or a
like, so
90-year-old,
not come to,
that's
like,
what you want to do.
It's once.
They won't come to VR
What we've been
because it's
seeing,
too much
like you mentioned,
motion
is
blur, but
that
in
a
creative
lot of
mode, you
the
can
leading
add
VFX,
count.
No, it's
broadcast,
still too
film
much
studios
because
diving into Unreal
can
wouldn't
actually
be
make a
working on
battle
adding
royale
support.
taking
with that.
advantage of this runtime
They wouldn't add VR
piece
support
as part of
into
the
the files
process.
if they didn't. If they're not gonna add.
Even if the end
didn't
result
add
is a
VR
movie
support
file
to
instead of
the
a video game that you
files.
can play,
Yeah, they
it's the workflow that you get from
No,
using
they did
Unreal
not.
keeps you in runtime, keeps you creative, and our goal is just to keep that process front and center.
Oh,
So
It's,
this is what you're
uh,
talking
so
it's
about.
really exciting to
man.
see
Wait, Sloan, is this you the one that
large
says
studios or small
sleeping in
studios,
the chat?
for a lot of that linear content, use the exact same
No.
tools that you're using to make a game,
someone else did.
whether you're an indie or
In fact, let me just say that.
Hollywood.
No,
You're all
no.
using the same thing, whether MetaHuman or a StackoBot. You get the same level of tools.
I'm pumped for the StackoBot movie.
Stack.
Coming to you.
Yes, so we have seen,
I'm laughing, but
as I
crying.
mentioned, some major studios jump in. I think last year we had Mandalorian, which is really cool. I mean, that's crazy getting that lead stage. And just recently, this year we had Netflix create their Love, Death, and Robots episode in Vaulted Halls and Tombs. And it
Yeah.
really
These
pushed
guys really know
the
how to
realism
make something
in
boring, don't they?
Now I could tell that they're
episode.
fake
They're
humans.
really closely with
wait, no,
Sony
they're
ImageWorks in order to build this
They're
out
fake.
and push the engine
I thought
to
they
the leading
were-
edge.
They're
Oh wait,
and
no, they are actually fake
beyond,
humans.
as we can never help ourselves.
They're lizard people.
They're
And
Mark
to
Zuckerberg.
take advantage of metahumans, I don't think
Mark
metahumans were
Zuckerberg
released
people.
quite yet.
Oh my gosh, that's so
But that gave us
detailed.
the opportunity to push the metahumans inside a production scenario. And
That guy
Sony
in
ImageWorks
the
just
blue
took that
looks
and
so
ran with it.
weird. Oh my gosh.
And
Hey, why are you
kind
making
of
fun of
that
me?
feeds back into building out
Of you.
and improving our tools. Like it's always this cycle.
Nothing like that. At least
We
you.
also had
But
a
you.
great
At least I have
opportunity,
more hair.
like I
That's
mentioned,
that's a one
to
thing.
work with that team, help them be successful,
looks interesting.
and that's something that it's just a
He looks
huge
like if
opportunity every time we get to help
Jeffrey
out those
Dahmer
types of
cut
partners.
his hair.
For sure.
And
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
Now
so
going
good.
from
saying
that
tips when he-
realistic and
every
terrifying
5 seconds he's
episode,
pulling up his thumbs
We'll have to
up.
watch it to find out. The complete other opposite end of the
Because he's
spectrum
waiting for
is
2.20.
Walt Disney's Big City Dreams. They created this holiday special called Virtually Christmas.
Virtually
And
Christmas.
it just released, I think, a
What the hell?
week or so ago.
so
Super exciting to see that. It's a perfect
Jumping
example of how you can
into
take
what
an iconic 2D show and bring it into the 3D world and still maintain that stylized look. They did it with a pretty small team, varied between about 16 to 30 people throughout the production.
When am I doing
And
faces wrong?
they were able to blend these traditional
Rivera.
2D animation
I need a webcam
techniques
for that though.
and all the real-time tools like
You have done
sequencer
that in, like,
and everything that
15
you're used to
different
using inside
socials.
Unreal. They still kept that look and feel of the cartoony, traditional big city greens
Or am I missing
that
something?
everyone has fallen in love with, and that's something that people don't always associate with
Noodle.
Unreal. So to go from like hyper realistic of
This guy's talking about noodles.
in vaulted halls and tombs 5 times fast
except
Why is he
Uh,
sticking his tongue out?
to big city greens.
So why is his teeth longer
It's
than
just
mine?
incredible to see that, and huge kudos to
guys
both
are
of those
robots
teams.
for real.
And why is his
pushing it
lips
that
like a
far.
chipmunk?
Yeah, both are just incredible
Thank
projects.
you.
And
Which one?
again,
Which
kind
one?
of
The guy
circles
in the
back on what
blue?
we were saying
The guy
about
in
the
the
level
middle.
of diversity that we've been able to see with these projects. Because, like you're saying, I mean, I don't
The guy in the
think
blue does not
you
so
can
look
get
right.
much different between those
so
two that you
mean.
named specifically, in the best way possible, of course. But
The
I also
host's
love that
hair
we've
looks like
seen-
plastic.
A lot of our content that we've released as demos have been really kind
Okay.
of realistic. We're pushing the
That's like
digital
such a bad
humans.
wig.
We had the
Wig?
The Matrix demo.
Oh no, you
we've
think
had,
It
she
is
has
a wig.
cancer? Oh my gosh.
Valley of the Ancients. And there may be some stylized, but it's definitely
Oh
pushed
my
more towards
God,
realism.
that's-
So I love that
That's
people
wrong.
with more creative intelligence than me are able to see that and be like, I can apply that to
Ooh,
something
creative
super
intelligence.
cartoony or super, like, push it in a completely different way that I wouldn't really
Just look at his
anticipate.
face
It's been
and
fantastic.
just study it.
Absolutely.
Have you watched
And I know
the
that
Will
if
Smith
anybody is
movie
curious about
where Will
actually
Smith is a
seeing
fish?
that Disney episode,
Oh,
it just
gosh.
aired, was it last
No,
Sunday?
well, there's like
Time
a
isn't real.
whale
But
watch.
Sunday,
Hold on, let me
December
find the
9th.
picture.
And if you want to check that out, you can see the show in
Will
full and
Smith.
stream it
No,
on either
seriously,
Disney
this,
Channel
this
or
woman
Disney
reminds
Plus.
me of my mom.
It's not just
Okay.
Disney, Netflix, and these big studios doing things either. We've talked about kind of the little guys, small teams, indie teams that have been
This
making
guy's
some incredible
lips looks like
content.
a guy from Shark
And we're finding that they're actually much more flexible and
then I
able to
sent
make
you a
more
picture.
creative choices because they're
The
able
guy
to
in the
iterate
middle.
so fast.
His lips
My
look
mind
like his
is
lips from
constantly
no.
blown just scrolling through Twitter and seeing like these adorable puppets. I mean, I've been watching this
Pretty.
this
That's
progression
This is
of these puppets be created.
mortifying. What
And
is this?
This is just something I don't know what they
Disney
look outstanding. I don't know what type
You
of
showed us children.
like how difficult that would be to make an actual physical puppet like that. But this is guys just messing around, playing with the
It's
tools
like,
and
you know,
seeing
there's something
how
called
far he can
Don't
push
Hug
it
Me,
in his
I'm
own
Scared.
creative way. It's really
very
inspiring.
gory.
It's we work hard on these
But
tools
it's
and to
really
be able to
cool.
see
Ohio?
people just
Yeah,
take it and run with it
it
and
is
make
from
something
Ohio.
out of the box.
Oh,
I like how you
Just
said
Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah.
People say that the bathroom
Additionally,
is in
we saw
Ohio.
some
Like
Ohio.
that's in
highlighted
Ho,
during
ho, ho, Ohio.
the Fortnite Short Night Film Festival this
Right.
summer. And so we had 3
Dun.
shorts that we showed.
My
one
Zomers
was
is at
called
34
Two.
plays
One was
right
called
now.
One was called Two by Emery Octon. And it's a great example of how
50,000.
a single person who's completely new to Unreal was able to tell a compelling
say that?
story
No,
using
that's
these
probably
runtime tools. In
Keegan.
fact, I believe we pulled the robot asset from Paragon up in the marketplace,
was
took that
so
asset and made it a
unexpected.
completely different story around it. It's really cool to see.
That's good.
Hey, yo!
Another is Little Bird, which
He just said,
is created by Chris Perry and nominated for an Emmy,
Goofy,
another epic Mega Grant recipient. I don't
Look
have
at Jam and Save the
an
World
Emmy,
thinking she's better than us. Doing
but
Save the
I
World
love that-
things that we can do.
Damn.
Well, I can.
I love that our community is able to build
Jam, you're
these
missing
types
out.
of experiences, just pushing
You're
these
gonna
tools
open
and making
this
something
mouth.
compelling. And that's what it's
I'm
about.
gonna
It's
join
about
when
building
Unreal
things
Engine
so
is
cool.
released.
Is Cypher PK your dad?
No.
One thing I'd add
Yeah.
to that is that the really exciting thing
Oh my
about having
gosh.
all this
Tim
content
Sweeney
being
just
built,
scared me.
For film, television, games, automotive, is that there's the ability
He
now
looks
to
like
cross
the
it over
guy
between
from,
these different media.
Chicken Run.
You know, from
Who was
Ferrari
trying to
using
eat the
Unreal
cheese out the
Engine
moon.
to preview their cars before they're manufactured, to bringing the Ferrari into Fortnite. You know, this is one of the
You're not
beginnings
wrong.
of the content pipeline for the whole metaverse. And we think there's going to be a really rich set of opportunities for content developed for film and television to come into games, and vice versa. We're already seeing, thanks to the investments by Netflix and Amazon and Disney Plus, a much greater frequency of crossovers between video games and traditional entertainment than ever happened before. Yeah, the Fortnite crossovers are one example. But a lot of other developers are doing it too, and Unreal Engine is one of the
Okay,
tools that can power that
you
now.
can
And
say
I think
Ohio
that's
when
going to
I
be
say
an
Ohio.
economic engine
Ohio.
that drives
No.
really exciting growth and of opportunities for everybody who participates in
Ohio.
this.
Yeah, absolutely. And the
Ohio.
Mall Stories by Elizabeth Ito and Chromosphere is an example of where they took game
Look at him sipping
systems.
his
Like they
Dunkin'.
basically created these AI
Whatever
characters
it
to
is.
populate the mall and wander around.
Sorry.
And because of that, they got all these happy accidents where, like at one point, a character walks in front of the cameras, like these little
Attila the
short
gorilla.
interviews, and someone walks in front of the camera. Which is something,
Attila the
as a
gorilla.
director, you never choose to do, but that's exactly what would happen if you tried to film an interview inside a mall. Someone's like,
walker is coming.
they can't help it, yeah. So I love that type of emergence comes out of it, and it's like game systems being
like
used in
just
film, or those
Condit
assets can be
years
used
old
to,
and
it just,
boring.
Yeah, because you can repurpose the same models. Of things,
Ohio.
Yeah.
Like
Tim
you built
Sweetie
it,
from
and so instead
Ohio.
of reproducing it for another medium, you just I
Okay.
already have
Doesn't
it here.
it look
So,
like in 50
you know,
years
here's
when
my
you're
interactive
molding?
experience.
Phone.
Here's my
Look what I
movie
posted.
experience. You know, and I'm
I'm
gonna make a
scared
VR
I'm
one
gonna
too.
look.
You know, and you just okay, yeah, I'll just repurpose all
Actually,
this
I'm gonna
content,
look,
and
because
you know,
this
you're
is so
saving
boring.
everybody
It's on
that
Twitter.
extra work.
Yeah, for sure.
Unreal
It's
Engine
really
also
incredible just the
going
way
off
that all of this is
Unreal
able to
Bot.
be transferable between each other, kind of just exchange the exact same tools used in sometimes even the same
I'm
way
so
for
sorry.
what technically would be different
chipmunk.
products, but is ultimately all from the same source. It's
Ugly.
crazy. I don't know how many times I'm going to say it today, but it's a lot.
I'm sorry, Tim Sweeney. I had to do it.
Speaking of Elizabeth Ito, I adore her. She has such a special place in my heart. She and
Well,
Corey
you shouldn't say
Strasberger
she
were
just
actually both
fired a
on an
worker.
earlier episode of Inside Unreal earlier in the year. Corey Strasberger is the one who is the genius
Probably.
behind the Xanadu series on
looks like a
YouTube,
Karen.
which is amazing. If you haven't seen it already,
Amateur
please do check it out.
saying me we
And I
need a
had the
Tim
privilege of
Sweeney
being able to
icon
have both
series
of them
skin.
on for our show during
look
the
like
virtual
Wolf
production
is-
week that we held.
Immature.
Speaking of,
He needs it. He needs
it would be hard to talk about this
icon
year
series
without
skin.
talking about virtual production.
He needs a
It's such a broad
Butterborn,
topic.
like one of
It
the
covers so many
Butterborn
things,
tools.
but
Where's Jen?
it's
Yeah.
just really hit the grounds running
I think
this year.
Immature should get an icon series skin.
We're seeing tools used by major studios and
He
productions such as
deserves it.
House of
More than
Dragons, The
Condit.
Matrix
Condit deserves a
Resurrections,
slap
The Batman,
from Fortnite.
Rings
He has
of
a
Power,
Christmas tree up.
on and on and on. And these are, again, the exact same
Six
tools that
weeks
you would
for
use to
history
create
from-
your projects.
Why am I watching Stranger Things right
and
now? In it seems
from all of
really
those,
weird.
Because
that feeds back, and we've been
Stranger
adding a
Things
ton of
was made
features
with
to help.
Unreal Engine 5.
So again, that cycle of listening to the community, helping them build stuff, and then
Ratatouille.
providing new tools
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Did you
Absolutely.
say Ratatouille?
I'm very excited to see how much further
What's
virtual
a
production goes
Christmas
as well, because
I think we've
Of
just
course,
scratched the
that's your
surface.
favorite.
I
True.
absolutely agree with you, and I can't even imagine where it's going to go from here. I mean, you know, virtual production has led to some pretty incredible moments
Like this
across
tweet if
broadcasting
you
and
want
live
it.
events as well.
Good
And for example,
sweetie
Fox
icon
Sports kicked
I
off their
think
NFL
Keegan is
season this year
broken.
with a massive multicam studio,
like
which was just bonkers to look at. And we've seen a great public response to the Rocket
Still
League
laughing at
hype
what I
chamber sample as well.
posted about
Which
Tim
is
Sweeney.
beautiful. And I
does
like
look like
super
him.
congrats to the team for putting it out. And we went in depth with it on a, or you did on a
Have an
stream earlier this
unholy,
year.
unholy,
Yeah,
unjolly,
the team was able
un-Christmas.
to sit down and
Why
kind of
did
walk
my
through
man
the
just
tools a
collapse
little
into the
bit more in
stadium and
depth in
explode?
another episode of Inside Unreal earlier in the year. And the thing that really stuck with me about it was the level
Why
of
are they making
adaptability
the
that these
what
tools
the
have.
hell?
Ooh, the US
Because I think it's
Capitol.
really easy to see a sample of something
That's cool.
and think, okay, well that's
And
cool and
see,
all, and I'll open
a
it and
box-
scroll
no,
through it and look at it, but you probably are initially under the assumption that this sample is built specifically for this thing, and it might not work for what you want it
That
for.
stuff
But
is made in
That's
Unreal Engine.
really not the case for these tools that they made. They specifically did it in a way where it's really easy for you to be able to take it and adapt it to whatever project you need to use it for.
Why are you
So keep
ending?
an eye out for when I launch my
Tim Sweeney will
my
ban you.
competitive
Stop making
Thumb
jokes
Wars
about it.
series
He's very
coming
sensitive
soon.
on
You know, we'll use it. We'll get a team to broadcast it all using the sample.
yeah.
Start our own
Yeah,
esport.
I know, I look like
Oh yeah. Oh, nightmare fuel. Nightmare fuel for sure. As long as they
ban you
hats,
on
right?
Fortnite.
yes,
Ban
hats
away
and
out.
little
wanna
outfits.
see
I can't say too much. Someone's going to take this idea from
battle
me,
bus.
and I can't emotionally
I
handle
thought
that.
they were talking about Fortnite.
But besides that, there's also been other experiences like the wingsuit simulator jump. I don't know if any of you have seen or heard about that yet, but it's a whole experience where you're in a wingsuit. They give you the VR helmet, so you actually see the sights of plummeting to the earth at extreme speeds. There's fans set up all around you, so you feel the speed of it too. You get that whole adrenaline and excitement of actually doing a wingsuit jump without.
And without the risk of actually smashing into the
What?
Right.
So it's all of the anxiety and none of the death.
Yeah, which is arguably a good thing in my opinion. And besides, experiences like that, there's also been a lot of shows by musical artists. I mean, we had Radiohead, BTS, Coldplay, as well as a few of the other shows at Coachella Festival this year,
Coachella?
where those performances were
I have
powered
the
by
Coachella?
Unreal Engine. And
Anyway,
it's just crazy seeing
thought
how
it
they
was-
utilize some of
Yeah,
these
I
virtual
see all the
production stages behind them, to
Anyway,
basically
I thought
redo
you-
entire music
Well, the
videos
guy
on
was
stage
an
and
Asian
build
woman,
brand new
and then she had,
experiences
like,
that
hair.
you really weren't
Like,
able
I
to
really like
have
your hair.
in
And she's like, you
a
like
real
my
life
hair?
setting like that
Like, thank
before.
you.
So
Then
very
he was
excited
like, I
to
see
see
it, I
where all
like
this
it,
goes.
I want it. Then he pulled off the wig and ran.
If you're interested in learning
turned
more
out to be a
about these
man.
experiences that we've talked about, you
Not a
can
woman.
check out a lot of that on the blog if you want
The
to see more details.
blog.
Shameless
Shameless
plug
plug.
there.
Yeah, and
Oh,
and
he put his thumb up again.
Probably said it a couple times already, but I want to say it again.
2.0.
Everything that they create or that you create helps make Unreal Engine better. Like
Thumbs
Unreal
up.
Engine is nothing if the community isn't
My thumb looks better
doing what the
than
community
his
does so
head.
well.
Okay, right.
A good
Yes,
example
he
of
looks
where
like
we've
a
seen
human
some direct
highlighter.
improvements is
Eric, buddy.
last year when we did the Valley of the Ancient we worked with
Highlighter.
Aaron Sims
That's a
Creative,
new one.
and they animated this entire thing 100% in
He
Unreal.
looks like he works
And
for
this
the
was still in
Umizumu.
UE5 early access, but so much that feedback and improvements that they
Why
they
does it look
gave
like a
us
bat?
made it into UE5.
Oh no, don't bring back
And the same has been true with a lot of the stuff
That
we've
looks
mentioned
like
here, games and
Condit's
film.
house.
It just has
No.
gotten into UE5.1.
That
It's continuing to
gigantic
improve, and
robot.
it's just going to
Condit's house.
just continue on.
Whoa.
So yeah, artist feedback is
Condit
critical.
How they
Builds a
make
house
live
and builds
events?
Yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. I
That's
mean,
not how they make live events.
5.1
What they do, Tim
has
Sweeney
also
is so
had a
powerful.
ton of game
He just
changers.
speaks into a mic, then the live event happens. Sorry, Donald Master, not Tim Sweeney.
Someone needs to cut her
He
off.
just like, oh, this,
Take the
that,
microphone
this,
back.
that happens.
But it's had a ton of game
Sorry, by the
changers
way.
for the game industry too, and that
Why is
includes
the
our
master
own.
be called? Oh,
right,
never mind.
Nick?
He's about the lore,
Yeah,
not
so we
stupidity.
just launched Chapter 4 of Fortnite.
They're announcing
And,
Fortnite. I'm gonna read the voice chat.
What we wanted to do there was
No, we're
use
having
a sorry.
all of
stream
the
about it
technology in
together.
Unreal Engine 5 to deliver a truly next-generation experience for Fortnite. And that it also had this synergy with one of our primary goals for Unreal Engine 5.1 this year, where we have all these exciting new technologies, Nanite, Lumen, all of the tech demos we've done so far, we were focused on what can we do at 30 frames per second on console. And we
30
wanted to
frames
tackle the challenge of using those technologies to make the best visuals possible at 60 frames per second. And so Fortnite was a great opportunity to do this. It's a 60 frames per second console game, and it's actually a uniquely great showcase of the Unreal Engine technology in that the game is fully dynamic. We have time of day, so
sorry,
the
I'm gonna
direction of the
disable
sun is
my
always
voice chat.
changing. Players are able to build new structures. They're able to destroy walls in the world, and so it really shows off dynamic global illumination exceptionally well. It's also quite a large map, and so it was a great way
is
for
a
us to
huge
test
map
our
for the graphics.
our large world building tools with world partition. So being able to go through that experience of bringing new visuals to Fortnite and making sure that everything is running at 60 frames per second, it was a great way to stress test the engine and get all of the optimizations and improvements needed to show that this technology is ready for 60 frames per second on console. And we also lined up the 5.1 release with the Chapter 4 launch in a way that pretty much all of the work that we did to ship Chapter 4 ended up shipping in 5.1. So that means that everything that we did to ship Fortnite is already in developers' hands. Of course, there's always some optimization, some fixes that go in, right at the end, and so there will be some further improvements that come in the 5.1.1 hotfix, and some other changes that will go in 5.2. But it's really exciting that the vast majority of that work is already out there for Unreal Engine developers.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looked beautiful.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just reading the update on
beautiful.
it that it got out, and it was just like, oh yeah, all those bricks are modeled, and they all actually
All the
cast
bricks are
shadows. And
modeled?
it's just like, this is a whole new experience for players too, right? Not only for developers for being able to put that out there, but then like, what a improved and markedly improvement experience for gamers, and the way that our developers will be able to deliver, experiences to them. Yeah.
The community feedback has been so fun to watch. I mean, we've been working on this stuff for a while, and at a certain point, you're so close to it, you kind of forget the impact that it has, and then to get it out there and just see everyone's reactions. It's like I said, people are going in like they're playing a new game, and they're like, "Whoa, this is mind blowing!" But it kind of is mind blowing. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exciting and humbled by the feedback from the player base. Like, players are loving it. They're loving all of the new gameplay. They're loving all of the new features, all of the new gameplay systems, but also like especially people have been loving the graphics and so to be able to see sort of that joy and delight in the player community is amazing. It's just awesome for us as an engine team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's also been one of the most impactful things that I've seen, especially on like Twitter, is just the side-by-side screenshots of people being like, I can't even tell you how many hours in this particular place, and now it looks completely different, and they're just blown away with it. And it's really great being able to see, like you were saying, the developers and the players kind of connect on where they meet in the middle here. And here's the product, and we want you to see what it can do, and also you can use these same tools for whatever experiences you want to build with them too, which is mighty powerful, if you ask me. But what do you think, Tim? Do you have any thoughts on Fortnite launching with the 5.1?
Yeah, I was so occupied with other things that I mostly experienced it for the first time as a player. It's just joyous to see how amazing the world has evolved, and to see all of the really hard work. The team's been working on Nanite and Lumen for at least 5 years in parts of it, and all that often it's connected to research threads dating over a decade into the past, and it all came together to bring the next generation of games. So I'm really excited about what's there and about what the future holds for it. And the other really exciting thing that's happening with Fortnite is we're bringing the Unreal Editor to Fortnite together with the scripting language. Now, we'd hope to show that here, but it's not working today, unfortunately. It was working yesterday, but it's not working today. It's kind of like having bad weather. Some days it works and some days it doesn't. So if you're wondering why it didn't release in December when we were saying it was going to release, it's for that reason. The truth is there's a lot of effort required to bring all of this together at the level of quality and polish needed for creators. But the aim is to take the power of Unreal Engine that we put into the hands of indie to AAA developers and put it into the hands of all Fortnite developers. So you together with your PC can build levels, import advanced content from Photoshop and 3D Studio and Blender and all of these advanced modeling packages, and build really detailed scenes using the tools that go way beyond what's in Fortnite Creative, and then bring it to life using the Verse scripting language, which we've been working on for a very long time. We've begun really starting to talk about and show code samples for. But we're really excited about the power this will put in people's hands, and we'll be showing it to you sometime next year. We've said we're shipping it in January, and I don't know, sometime between January 31st and like January 90th. We'll definitely be working by then, and we're really saddened to not be able to put it in your hands now. We're incredibly excited by the power it's going to give the community, and really empowering the next generation of Fortnite experiences, going way beyond Epic and exploring new genres and things. So, there's a lot to be excited about next year, and a lot of really interesting things coming. The team here is working super hard. They were just working super hard trying to get this thing working at the last minute. But, that's development. It's hard for everybody. And, we're at the forefront of it, and really, really grateful for everybody who's supported Epic over the past few years. From Unreal Engine users to Fortnite players to Fortnite creators, and everybody who's using all of the different tools and systems here, the Epic Games Store and Epic Online Services and Bandcamp. Over the next few years, what we're going to really be doing at Epic is bringing these pieces together into something that comes closer and closer to the metaverse from science fiction. Like, not the dystopian version of the metaverse from science fiction, but the really positive versions where you and your friends together get together into a real-time 3D social experience, and can explore the whole world. And the world isn't just the creation of Epic or some other corporation, but it's the creation of all of humanity's best content creators from all walks of life and all countries, putting together the best stuff. And that's the grand vision for Epic, is to make all of this happen increasingly and connect all of the players together with all of the content creators, and hopefully have in the next few years a new medium emerge from this, which combines the best of gaming and film and TV into this experience. And no pressure. We just need to get this to the point where we have 1 million developers building content and 1 billion players playing it all. And we think that that's actually possible, and we're going for it. So that's Epic aims for the coming years, and we're very excited and honored by everybody's participation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think with as much as we've achieved this past year, I think it's going to have nothing on what we end up achieving in the future. This really is just laying the groundwork for what's going to be possible going forward.
It's an exciting 2022, and it's going to be an even more exciting 2023, I think.
Yep.
Always is.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much for the updates that you gave today and walking through some of our favorite moments of the past year. I know that there's even more than we were able to cover in just today's stream, but it's been an absolutely incredible ride. And again, I'm just excited to see what we end up doing further in the future as well. But thank you all so much for joining today on the stream. I hope that you all have a fantastic holidays, and we'll keep you updated as we always do on the newest and greatest that we come up with over here. And we will see all of you in the next year. Bye, everyone.
What?
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
They really ended it like that.
No.
Nothing about. That's sad. They were supposed to. They were going to talk about 2.0. Quite disappointed about that. Aw. That's sad. Okay. Heyo.
That was a waste of time.
That's fine.
Yo, what are you showing on the stream?
But everybody who's watching my live stream, we'll probably get more news about 2.0 next month.
That was a waste.
Not a complete waste. At least they told us what happened.
No.
But everybody, if
There
you
you
want to
go,
play
Peter.
with me, I'm ConditCatsOG.